Hey guys, it's Linda Gusha here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing digital interviews. So the reason that we're having this chat in the first place is because we're in the middle of a pandemic. And although some companies were already doing remote interviews, it's definitely become a more regular thing. And it's probably going to be the standard going forward. And when you move in-person interview online, you add a couple of elements that can be challenging to a person. And my goal or my belief is that that shouldn't be a limitation to you getting the job that is a perfect fit for you, So we're just going to cover some tips, some guidelines, and of course I'm going to encourage you along the way because that's what I love doing. If you just want to get to meat of the discussion, you can check the description box below and I will have all the points that I hit and the markings of where they are in the video. You can just scroll through as you please. Okay, so now you've submitted your CV successfully. They tell you, "Dear John, we are happy to invite you to an interview at such and such time on such and such date. Make sure you accept or use this digital code to log into the meeting." Oh my gosh, lots of emotions hit, excitement, nervousness. How is this gonna work? Well, let me tell you. First thing you need to do is look at the invitation you've received and see what platform it's for. If it's for a Zoom meeting, Skype meeting, or maybe Google Hangouts, WhatsApp video, who knows? But you need to know which platform you're going to use and you need to test it beforehand. It's not something that you should be intimidated by, like thinking you should have, a high-speed laptop or such. Not digital phone, what are they called? Smartphone. A smartphone that has decent quality is literally all you will need. If you don't have one, ask someone to borrow their phone and, let them know that it's for an interview. I need your phone for half an hour. I need your phone for an hour. Can I make an arrangement with you? Most people will be willing to help you if it's for an interview purpose, of course. They have test calls on Skype where you can literally just test with the interface, download it on your phone, download it on your laptop if you have a laptop. But you just need to make sure that you have the application beforehand. Next thing, we're still in the preparation phase now. You need to figure out where you're going to do this interview of yours. It's not so much important that you need a fancy background. What you need is just a place that is quiet and a place that's not distracting. In one instance, I actually did an interview at a KFC. I bought myself, what are these things called? A crusher. And they let me just chill there. It was quiet. There was no one. It was in the middle of the day. I couldn't actually make it home in time to do the interview. So I was let me just find a quiet place. Sat down there. It went well. I went through to the next round. So it's just important that you are in, one, a place that's quiet, please, and two, a place that is has no distractions, doesn't have a lot going on in the background, and three, make sure you're in a well-lit place. This one is super important because I've seen some things. People doing it in their bedroom, in a corner in their room. Obviously, they're aiming for privacy. I can understand why, but now it's dark, sometimes the windows, we need to be able to see, or the people who are hiring you or interviewing you need to be able to see your face. They need to be able to get a sense of your personality as much as you can give through a camera, at least. There's no interview without internet connection. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this to your attention is because sometimes you think your connection is fine until you put it to the test. You may be able to download, you may be able to listen to music, you may be able to use your Twitter and Instagram, but does your bandwidth have the capability to hold a Zoom interview? You won't know until you test it out. So as my first point, I said play around with the interface you need to use, test it, download it, see if your internet connection can hold. And secondly, we are in South Africa, so if you're in another country and watching this, great. But in South Africa, we know that there is a digital divide. Not everyone has the same access to internet, and that's a huge issue. Now, in order to get internet accessibility, there's a lot that needs to be done. Bridging the digital divide is something that I'm passionate about, but that's not what this video is about. In order for you to gain sustainable internet access for the duration of your video or your interview, you need to figure out places in your community that offer free Wi-Fi. If you are lucky, you will have a friend or a neighbor who has free Wi-Fi, and don't be afraid to ask. An interview is something so important, so crucial. It could be the beginning of so many doors opening for you. You know, this is the time to put that pride or maybe shame aside and just ask for help. You can even let the HR person who has arranged the interview for you know that, hey, listen, I might not have data, or can we move it to this date where I can be in a place where I have data or free Wi-Fi or whatever. You'll be surprised how understanding people can be if you just lay your situation out flat and honestly. You can check your local library. Of course, you might not want to be speaking inside, but maybe the foyer in the back, if maybe they have an office that they can let you use. Libraries are great. Most people in libraries are very friendly and very helpful. Restaurants, like I said, mug and bean, whatever, just make sure it is quiet, and you're sitting in a reserved area, or not reserved, but you're sitting in an area that's out of the way. Again, don't forget your lighting, so you need to have, you know, these things swirling around in your head when you make this decision. If you're going to use your phone and you are happy to buy data, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be mindful that you may need like 1 or 2 gigs, because streaming or video interviews can use a lot of data. So just, you know, make sure you have enough. You don't want your data to run out in the middle of the interview. That is a, you know, shooting yourself in the foot for all the effort you've put into getting here. Last point, and I'm not really going to labor on this much, but this is preparation. I will probably maybe do another video on just general interview skills. I also offer career services, and I will put the link to that page of mine at the bottom of this video. But just be prepared for your interview. That's really all I'm saying on this point. In the same way that you would prepare yourself to go to someone's office, you just read over key points, get familiar with the organization, and you will be nervous. It's normal to be nervous, but nerves don't mean it's going to go horribly wrong. An interview is a step in the right direction. Even if you don't land that job, the fact that you've gotten to the interview stage is huge, and you need to be so proud of yourself for making it that far. It only means that more doors are going to open, more interviews are going to come your way, and the right position will find you, and you will find it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Stick around, and here's to a lovely 2021. Ciao.